First of all, thank you guys for giving me 100 subscribers. Look at me. I'm a big shot on YouTube now. You add a zero to that, that's 1,000. You add another zero to that, that's 10,000. Crazy. Unbelievable. Now, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for 100 subs. It means a lot. I'm going to start doing my best to push out these Dragon Ball Super reviews on Sunday so you can get it right after you watch the episode. I'm going to try to watch it early and then do my review right away. I won't really call these reviews. I'll just call them my thoughts / discussions. I enjoy talking about the series. So start looking forward to it on Sunday, no later than Monday, for me to get these out. That being said, this one is a little bit late. I did record it early. Just been running around a lot this week, so instead of waiting until next week and doing 2 in 1, I just figured I'll do it now. And let me say this: I'm probably gonna have this in the title. I'm giving Dragon Ball Super episode 63 a 10 out of 10. What? Right? You're like, what is this? What is this guy crazy? 10, perfect? That's perfection. Yep. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. And here's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Because I've already said, for me, Dragon Ball Super is a guilty pleasure series. I'm going to say that every time I have to. It's a guilty pleasure series. So as far as what I go in expecting from Dragon Ball Super, as far as what I go in wanting, this episode delivered on every aspect of that. All right? I didn't watch this episode of Dragon Ball Super to get clarifications on the storyline. I didn't watch this episode of Dragon Ball Super to figure out who's stronger, or which form is stronger, or get deep analysis of the timelines or the time rings or anything like that. I watched this episode of Dragon Ball Super to see my man Vegeta rise back to power. All right? And that was accomplished. All right? That was done, and not only was it done, it was done well. It was done well. All right? This episode was great. It was great. When it started off, I was a little bit confused. I thought Trunks was going to be fighting through the entire way. It looks like Trunks may have gotten messed up off camera, and, the humans saved him again, and he had to have a Senju Bean and all that. Mai decided to go out and try to take out Black by herself, which, come on, she knew that wasn't going to work. But Trunks showed up, freaking typical superhero fashion, saved her at the last second, and then took on both Goku Black and Zamasu at the same time. And listen, he was actually putting in some work. My hats are off to Trunks right now. He is protector of the future, and he is earning that title. When this season first started, when this arc first started, and Trunks came back, I was like, man, Trunks, you haven't grown at all. You're still only Super Saiyan 2. What's going on? But he's really stepped up. I feel like I'm seeing Gohan at the end of Cell Saga again. He's really stepped up and doing everything he can. He literally almost took out both of them, in my opinion. He gave Goku Black the work. He gave him the hands, and then he was gonna try some exploded thing on Zamasu. I don't think it was gonna work. I didn't think it was gonna work, but the fact that he could push them back like that by himself, that is incredible. That is incredible. And there's also something you got to keep in mind, just the mental state of Trunks, having to fight these two guys by himself. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he went and now Vegeta and Goku were back or whatever. But he's the only one left from the future. Goku has always had, even if it's just Krillin, he's always had somebody there to cheer him on or help him with a plan or something like that. Outside of Dragon Ball. But it's in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, now it's Vegeta. Vegeta is always there. It's go in Dragon Ball Z, it was even Gohan, the Z Warriors, he would have a team of people, and yeah, most of the time he's the strongest, but at least he has that support. Trunks has no support as far as, people who can help him fight. people who could give him advice. He is the strongest fighter left on Earth, and it looks like in the universe right now. Because Goku Black, Zamasu already killed all the other gods. So Trunks is like the strongest fighter pretty much in the future at the moment on the good guy side. And it's incredible for him to be up there like the lone warrior. We need to take our hats off to Trunks. We need to give future Trunks the respect he deserves because he's really putting in work. He's really fighting for the human race right now. So, round of applause to Trunks. You did your thing. My bad, you're stuck for probably the next episode gluing an urn together. You don't deserve that. But it is what it is because your dad, and Goku are there and they are ready to put in work. I feel like this is it. I feel like they've already had enough back and forth with Black and Zamasu and stuff. And just from the overall pacing, I feel like this is the last encounter. I don't think they're going to be running back to the past anymore and all that stuff. I feel like we're going to get a few episodes of them fighting. Obviously we see what's going to happen next episode, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But, they're going to get pushed back, but they're going to have to figure out a way to beat Zamasu here. Okay, so that being said, two more things that we're done with this discussion. The first one is welcome back, Vegeta. Welcome back, Vegeta. Good job, Vegeta. Like, he was in the hyperbolic time chamber, and I'm guessing he was in there for about a year. I can't really tell. Like, he didn't come out with a beard or anything like that. But, like, if he was in there, I think a day is a year, right? So, if he was in there for a day, then, even a few hours, he could have been in there for 6 months. So, he really went in there, and you could tell, maybe if it's not his power, his mental is back to where it needs to be. This is old, Prince Vegeta, King Vegeta. So he's back, and he is on point right now. Like, what he was doing to Black, oh my God. Like, Black is like, how could you get so strong in such a short time? And Vegeta's like, cause I'm the man, bitch. You're like, all right, but that's what he said, pretty much, right? That's what he said. So that was a lot of fun to watch. I think that was done really well. I want to see Vegeta beat the crap out of Black for at least another like good 5 minutes into the next episode. I need to see that happen. All right. And as for Goku versus Zamasu, the Immortal Zamasu, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of that fight. I don't know what to make of his immortality. Like, like what Trunks said. Like, Trunks was like, man, I don't care if you're immortal. Like, if I split you up, if I explode you, like, what happens then? There has to be some sort of weakness. There has to be some sort of limitation. And that's how I feel. Like, obviously they're talking about sealing him away and all that. But at the same time, it's like, that immortal thing just seemed too overpowered. Like, that doesn't make sense, because then anyone in the series, freaking Emperor Pilaf could wish for immortality, and all of a sudden he's stronger than Beerus. He can't be killed. Like, so that there has to be a weakness outside of getting sealed for that immortality thing. Maybe they could freeze him in ice. Like, the thing I don't understand is that he's immortal. He's not much stronger. Like, his physical prowess shouldn't be much past what it was when he fought Goku. So the fact that he could keep up still doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, I'm not watching this episode for it to make sense. I'm watching this episode as a guilty pleasure, and that did not take away from the series for me. And now, the last thing that got me super hyped was seeing the preview for next week's episode. Zamasu fuses with Goku Black. We got a Saiyan God type character with white hair. Unbelievable. And I'm guessing that they're going to be fusing with Patara earrings, which is much stronger, much stronger than the fusion dance. So that's like where we got Vegito from, and Gohan Boo and all those guys, like much stronger, right? Like, so that is going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. Like, I'm talking about, that's going to be much stronger than Vegeta and Goku combined, even if they did the fusion dance and fused together, which we know they're not going to do. So, him showing up next week, a Patara earring fused Zamasu, I'm thinking like Beerus or someone is going to have to, I'm thinking Beerus is coming to the future. That's my guess. Beerus is going to show up, and he's going to use his destroyer magic or whatever, because his ability seems like it doesn't matter. It's almost like when they were talking about the king of everything, and Goku was like, how strong is the king of everything? And Whis was like, it's not just about strength. If he just wants something destroyed, it's just destroyed. He just wills it. And I think that's Beerus is sort of has part of that ability in him. Like, he could just sort of will things destroyed. That's why he thought he had destroyed Zamasu in all timelines, right? Because it's just his will. It's not like he outperformed him or out martial art, karate chopped him or anything like that. He just willed him to be destroyed. That's his power as the god of destruction. So I think if Beerus shows up through the time ring or something like that and take care of, even if that version of Zamasu, like let's call it super fusion with Zamasu, even if he's physically stronger than Beerus could still just sort of will him out of existence, and that's just my guess of it. Because we're talking about a fusion of that scale, like, that's crazy. Not only is he going to be immortal, probably, but he's also going to have, Goku Black Rose power multiplied. That's in an immortal body. That's incredible. I can't even conceive that, right? So there's that. That's insane. I'm looking forward to it. And the last thing I want to leave you guys on is this thought. Because now we have different versions of different timelines and different universes, right? We know at least there's 3 universes confirmed. From if we include the universes from Dragon Ball Z, we know at least 4 universes are confirmed. Where we got Future Trunks, we got the regular timeline, we got Zamasu Black timeline, we got the Green Zamasu timeline. So that's 4. 5th one could be if you talk about Future Cell timeline. That's 5. But now, because we're seeing these Zamasus fuse together, essentially the same entity fusing with itself. Think about if 2 Gokus fuse with each other, right? The reason why I find this fascinating is because usually when you do a fusion, you have that bit of conflict and you have that personality trait from each character, and then they combine and it gives you that sort of dual whatever. But if you have one version of a character fusing with another, it's essentially the same person. And so you don't have that conflict of interest or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the same person fusing with themselves and, like, becoming this super version of themselves, And what stops them from, well, the Patara earrings, there's only 2 earrings. I was going to say what stops them from fusing again. But imagine if they fuse together like that and they do that multiple times and then they could, like, fusion dance together or something like that. It just creates this possibility like this. I don't know. I don't know what that means if they fuse together. Like, is there a conflict of interest there? How could there be if it's the same person? I think that's incredible. Like, I can't wait to see how strong they are, because that's insane. That in addition to his immortal body and all that stuff, unbelievable. I think next week's episode, after they fuse, is going to be Goku and Vegeta getting stomped. Like, I just don't see how they're going to be able to keep up against something like that. Anyway, this video is getting too long, so if you guys agree with me, leave a comment, let me know. I love talking about this. I know this video is a bit late, but we're going to do it for Sunday this week at 100 subscribers. If you like it, if you enjoyed the discussion, please subscribe. I appreciate it. And, yeah, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good Halloween weekend. Later.